even though,
It is. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just fake everybody one day. We actually did it in Nashville. Funny story. I'll tell you very quickly. I was in the bathroom of a restaurant, and this lady comes in. She's like, "Is that Chelsea Kreitz?" And my friend that was with me, actually my assistant, she says to her, she's like, "No, that's Christina." And and the girl's face just kind of like dropped, and she's like, "Oh, is it?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's Christina." And I came out of the bathroom, so I'm like, "No, my name's Chelsea." And she's like, "Can I get a picture with you?" So it was hilarious because we were going around Nashville, and every time someone would call me Christina Aguilera, I would just play along with it. It was hilarious. I get it all the time.
What's funny is we have another country artist that we interviewed. Her name's AJ Jansen. She's out of actually Connecticut, and she's like the bad girl of country. And I just think you two would get along so well.
Yeah, she's the American bad girl, and I'm not on the verge of bad girl, but it's kind of in between. I'm like the edgy bad girl in my songs. So we like the pickup trucks and the crown and all that stuff.
I really wouldn't know because the only song I got is 4-wheel drive.
I know. See, you get to hear the new single when it comes out, which is like completely different. So when you hear it, you just think fire, which is really cool.
Oh, cool. But you know what? Being a artist and you have to tour all the time, you have to have some kind of edgy, mentality and a way about you because you can't have people walk on you either.
No, and that's the thing. In real life, but when I'm not on stage, I truly am like not the bad girl at all. I'm probably the most down to earth person, and I don't do any of that stuff. I don't, smash cars and and drink and everything. It's just not who I am. But you're a different person when you get on stage, and I still keep my, I'm still humble, and I still am who I am when I'm on stage. But kind of the way I show myself on stage is more of that edgy way. The performance part of me comes out, which is always cool to see because people will come up to me after, and some are actually not scared, but kind of shy. And once they talk to me, they realize that I'm actually a boring person. I'm not so cool as I seem to be.
Oh wow! I just do want to give a personal apology to your family as well. I mean, we did have a pretty bad, fallout and everything, and once again, I do apologize. And that's not to get brownie points. That's because I truly feel bad.
Oh, no worries. No worries. It's all good. Facebook is kind of weird sometimes, and it can kind of make things not the way they are. I've had that with so many people. I've had it even, with fans where they will think something else when you write back to them, and it's actually not. So when you get to see someone in person or talk to them, that's why I usually love talking to people on the phone or meeting them at shows and everything like that, because you just get a completely different aspect on people, which is the real meaningful thing. So, it's all good. Facebook is awesome, but not so awesome at the same time, because sometimes that keyboard can really mess things up, especially if you're not using proper grammar, like me.
Yeah, I can't text worth a damn, so Facebook is pointless to me too. But
I know. I have autocorrect on my phone, so it's even worse. So people will think I'm talking about like songs, and I'm like, "Hey, how's the sandwich?" So that's usually how it goes for me on my phone.
You ever type a swear word in there and it will say duck, and I'm
yes,
like, I didn't say duck.
The best word is ducking. That's the new one, and it's not in the dictionary, I don't think. So I think it should definitely be added in there because the iPhone seems to love it.
I mean, because we're on the phone and everything, you seem like such a sweetheart, just like you do now, and I bet you are.
Thank you.
So where did you get your inspirations from, like your songs? Do you write them yourself, and are they about experiences you go through, friends go through? Are they, songs submitted by fans?
Actually, it's a mix between a lot of things. I do get a lot of people, not necessarily fans, but people who have heard of me or people that have written a song, and they're like, hey, do you mind if I, send you a song? And I absolutely encourage that. Some people don't like people to send them stuff and everything like that, but if people have a song and want me to look at it, and I just love reading that. I love seeing what people come up with. But on my new album, I actually have songs I wrote on there and songs that various Canadian and Nashville writers have written. And I have a song which is Four Wheel Drive, and I wrote that one myself. And when I write music, I usually don't like it to get too personal. It usually does because it's me writing it, but I love taking inspiration from anything around me. So it could be like a quote that I hear one of my friends say, or it could be a quote that I see on the internet, and it kind of just inspires me to write further. It could even be the weather. So it just depends. But Four Wheel Drive, me and Mike Nash actually came up with the music, and I came up with the lyrics. And the way I write music is kind of odd. Not everybody does it, but I love having the music first, the music and the melody, and then it makes it so much more easier for me to write the words. So Four Wheel Drive was actually not going to be called Four Wheel Drive. I started out with it being called Summer Love, and then by the time I got into the chorus, it just kind of clicked, and the woes came to me, and everything was just kind of falling together. It was probably one of the easiest songs I had written. I'd struggled with it for so many years just because I had it written down, but nothing seemed to make sense. So last summer when I went back to it and kind of went over it and reread everything and changed the words to kind of suit who I am now and kind of make it for my age and just to truly connect with me, it clicked, and I really thought it was a reminiscent song, not only for teenagers, little kids, whoever's listening to it, adults. I thought that, you're going to get that memory that pops up in your head, or something cool and fun that you did that reminded you of a sweet summer that you had either on the beach or at a cottage or just something. So I thought it was a great song to release for the summertime because it's super catchy and it just makes you feel happy. So that's what I really love about it.
Awesome. And when you were saying, people can submit songs to you and everything, I'm like, well, I can submit a song to you of me singing, but most people tell me to shut the F up.
Well, I mean, you know what? It's amazing songwriters when they, kind of put songs out for either artists to listen to and everything like that, because songwriting has such a career. You can make even more money songwriting than you can actually singing the song. So it's always great success when you can write a song and sing at the same time, because it really adds that extra bonus there for you, and then you get to cash a bigger check at the end of the day, usually. So I absolutely love songwriting. It's not something that I originally wanted to do because it was hard for me at first, but now that I have gotten older and realized, what songwriting is all about, it really is easy. It's hard to write a song when you're, 12, 13 years old, when you really haven't gone through anything. And, you're writing about, like, your dog and the clouds and stuff like that, which really doesn't make a good country song if you think about it. So you got to have some trucks and heartbreak in there. So you got to live life a little bit.
Exactly. So what could people see you doing on your day off? I know that's far and few between, all your business meetings and touring and everything else. But, I mean, if you had a day off, would you be out fishing or out at the mall, or what's your forte?
I love spending time with my family, just because I don't get to see them that often. I actually just got back from being on the road, and I get to spend today with my family, and it's great. I have a dog.
Oh, how sweet!
Like I have a dog, and she's like my fur baby, I call her. So I missed her more than I missed anybody. But I absolutely just love hanging out, and going to the beach is a real treat for me when I'm off. And shopping is definitely on the top of my list, but it always seems to lead back to the music thing because I'm always constantly looking for clothes to perform on stage and stuff like that. So it's always least stressful for me to just kind of go to the beach and unwind and kind of come back and have dinner, and it's fun. I love that. It's just because my life is so busy as it is. I'm really not the type of person that will, hang out in places with tons of people or go to festivals just to hang out and bars and stuff like that, just because I'm around it so much. It's so weird for me to kind of be in the audience because I'm always up on stage. So I kind of keep to myself when I have my days off.
Well, I don't blame you because, I mean, you'd be out, shopping at a little mall, and then you'd have like 500 people come up to you. Oh, hey, can I sign your autograph? And you're like, all I want to do is get this pair of shoes right now.
Yeah, the shoes are all I want. But I love meeting people. I do get that a lot. It's probably one of the biggest spots that I get is being in the mall because so many people go to the mall. So it's so cool, and we have events here in my hometown, and I actually went to something called Canal Days, and it never fails. Every time I go there, I'm stuck taking pictures because nobody in my hometown ever sees me just because I'm always gone. So everybody knows who I am here in Port Coburn. So it's really cool having a city behind you and having people that, kind of watch your career and talking to them, and they know exactly what you've done and where you've been and what's coming up next. And it's really cool that people pay attention and kind of follow your career. It's actually really awesome.
All right. So I have a question for you.
I
ask a lot of artists, and they don't know how to answer it because some are just getting started or other things. So share a fan story with us. I mean, something where somebody said, one of your songs really touched their heart or, really changed their life. And how does that make you feel?
Oh, it makes me feel amazing. I had a person come up to me, actually, that just heard my new album. And I'm really excited because my album has reached all the way in Singapore, which is out of this world. I think it's so cool that people over there are listening to my music. But it was a fan that heard a song on my new album called Just Another Day. And that is not one that I wrote, but I specifically put it on the album just because it had so much meaning. And as soon as I heard it, it actually made me cry. And it just connected with me right away. And I think that anybody of any age will connect with the song. And he actually said to me that my song inspired him because it made him think of something that happened to him when he was 17 years old, and he went through heartbreak and kind of was stuck in a hard place and didn't exactly know how to get out of that situation. And when he heard the song, it kind of made him really happy that the option that he took wasn't the option that he was necessarily going to choose in the first place. So it kind of just, reassured him that the choice that he made was the right decision. And I thought it was very inspiring knowing the song because, when you go through that type of heartbreak, no matter what it is, it could be a boyfriend, it could be your parents, it could be whatever it is, whatever is kind of, pulling at your heart and making you feel down. That song could help you in a way, and I'm so glad that it inspired him and that he took the time to actually listen to the full song through because the meaning of the song is there actually is a light at the end of the tunnel. You'll get a happy ending. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be next week, it might not be next month, but along the lines it will happen. Healing takes time, so that was great, and I'm so glad that he got the message because that's exactly the reason why I put it on my album.
Absolutely awesome. So, here's what I want to know. If I were to go out and go on iTunes or whatever and download buy your music, because whoever handles your YouTube is extremely smart, and they're extremely smart in the sense of there's no songs to grab. I noticed that. I'm like, are you serious? I got one song here to play for the audience, and that's it.
Yes, yeah. I love having the samples up there, just because you can get a taste, and I really, it's better than not having anything at all. I love putting. I have